All right, guys, so we are doing a reteach of the inflected endings assignment. That assignment was not done very well by the majority of you guys, so obviously it needs to be retaught. Um, so we are going to try to just simplify it down a little bit. I know on the assignment you were given some nouns to be changed with the inflected endings into verbs. However, that probably confused you guys a little bit. So just kind of make a note and know that yes, sometimes some of these inflected endings will allow for a noun to be changed into a verb, uh, kind of like one of the words you had was plug. So if you were to add, the inflected ending on there, the ing, you have to double the g, of course, and then add the ing, and then plugging is then a verb. All right. So that's how that works. And that kind of clashes a little bit. You can't really see it, but it still works there. However, for the purpose of this redo assignment, we're going to simplify it down a little bit, and we have only given you verbs. Okay. So basically, in this case, the inflected endings in this case, they'll change the tense of the verb, or even in the case of the S, it will change whether it's a singular verb or a plural verb. So like Tina makes a cake will, if that's a plural verb with a singular subject, or you can have the children make pictures. So children being your plural subject with your singular verb. That's part of that subject verb agreement that you guys have probably already covered in your ELA class. So that's what that's a part of. So that kind of gives you the answer for here, make. If you're adding an S to it, you don't really have to do anything else. It's just makes, okay? Whenever you are adding an ing onto a word that has an E at the end, if you remember, think back to your elementary school days when you're learning how to add ing onto verbs. What did you have to do? Right, you had to drop that E first. You had to get rid of it before you could add the ing, because I and E in this case, they don't like each other that much. So your verb then is making, all right? And then adding the ed or changing the word, we are putting it in the past tense, all right? So basically you're taking your verb and you are putting it in the past tense. So whenever you are thinking about that, okay, so if I make a cake today, all right, I will be making a cake tomorrow. So past tense, I'm thinking yesterday, I what? Yeah, the verb then is made. All right, you are changing the word a little bit. Well, not a whole lot. You're just changing a letter. All right, instead of the K, it is a D. All right, you made a cake yesterday. All right, or you made the bed this morning. All right, something along that line. All right, another another one that kind of you have to make sure you remember the rules for is verbs that have a Y at the end. All right. So when you have a Y at the end and you're going to add an S, are you going to be having it look like that? No, that is not accurate. That is not going to be something that doesn't even look accurate. So that's not correct. All right. The proper spelling for that, then what's the rule whenever you have a Y and you're adding an S? Think back to elementary. Right, you're dropping that Y and changing it to an I, all right? So that's not all you have to do though, because if you just add an S, that's Chris. Chris is a name. We're not changing Cries to a name. So we have to have the ES at the end right there. All right, because I and S, it doesn't go well. So that is the correct spelling for cries. All right. Now, with your Y and ing ending, see on your make, you had to drop the E and then add the ing. For want, if you're doing wanting, that's you're not you're not dropping anything. You're just sticking it on there. All right. Cries or cry, that's kind of the same thing, really. You are not going to be dropping this Y. Adding an ing is kind of the only exception in this case whenever you are having a verb with a Y at the end. You don't have to drop the I in this case. Otherwise, if you did that, your verb is going to look like that. And that's not accurate. Or it's going to look like that. Creeing. No, no. Okay, that's not going to work. So that is how we're doing that. And then you have past tense. Past tense, you're adding ed at the end. It has the same rule as you have with adding the s, or in this case, the es. All right, you have to drop the y and put an I in there. So then your, that did not have to be capitalized. I don't know why I did that. So then your word looks like that, is cried. Okay. So we have the babies cry. So that's that plural subject, singular verb. The baby cries, singular baby cries, plural verb. The baby is crying. If you added a helping verb there, then you would then add your ing for is crying. The baby's crying now. It's happening right now. And then the baby cried, it cried in the past tense. Okay. Another, we'll go with this one. Another rule of thumb you kind of need to remember is when you have to double up letters. So hop, you're not doing anything with hop. All right. So hops, that's fine. You don't have to do anything with it. You're just adding the S. However, when you come over here and you're adding the ing, if you do not add the other P for this, you now have the word hoping. Okay. So that would then be, with the E. All right. So with the word hope, you would drop the E and you would add ing. That's hoping. All right. You're not wanting hoping. You're wanting hopping. So that is the difference. That makes the difference between the two words here. I know some people are thinking, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is it's the difference between hop and hope. Okay. And then you do the same thing when you're adding ed. You are doubling up on that P. All right. Hopped. All right. So I did 3 of these with you. The rest of these, that gives you 10 more words to do on your own. Use all of your tools that you need to use. Use your spell check on your phone messaging. Use Google. Use a dictionary if you've got a dictionary. Use your friend's dictionary. Use whatever tools you need in order to make sure you get the spelling right, because that's basically all this is. You're adding on the inflected endings, but make sure that you're getting the spelling right. Not every word that ends in a P is going to need it to be doubled up. All right. Or not every letter not every word that ends in a consonant, I should say, should need to have it doubled like that. And not every word that has an E at the end, the rules for that one. And then of course, not every word needs to be changed like these are. but some of them do. So you need to make sure that you know the difference between them. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to message your teachers, raise a hand, come see us, come to tutoring, and we can help you out as much as we can. But please make sure that you make the effort to ask us questions. Otherwise, we don't know that you need help and we cannot help you. All right. Hope this helps you out in as far as knowing inflected endings and what to do with them. Y'all have a great day.